Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Chodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. A shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. It's just Bayan back again, through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to tap into a brief lesson, brief live stream. All right, responding to a video I just seen earlier today from the beloved brother Tazamath out of GMS Dallas. All right, and he was talking to, the latest fiasco coming out of the Genesis crew. All right, regarding the Nephilim, the Nephilim, Nephilim, if you say it in the Hebrew, being the Canaanites. Okay, which that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. And through the spirit, we're pretty much gonna knock down that stronghold. Going precept upon precept, line upon line, looking up words, going into the Charles D lexicon, making this thing make sense. And this is why I titled it Spiritual Discernment. Okay? Because this is what a lot of men lack, that bring up damnable heresies that they end up meditating on, all right, through the course of time of them being in a partial truth. They got these other thoughts in their mind, and these pseudoscience form of breakdowns that just don't add up when you look at it for what it is. And what is spiritual discernment? Let me get this real quick. Now we know, we can explain it, but let's look it up, right? Real quick, let's set the foundation real quick through the spirit. So when you get spirit, what is spiritual discernment? All right, according to AI overview, this is spiritual discernment. Spiritual discernment is the ability to distinguish between divine, demonic, human, and spiritual influences, man. Okay? And when you read the Bible, when you tap into the scriptures, you have to have spiritual discernment. All right? Because without it, guess what? You're going to be left in error. You're going to err in the spirit. You see? Now let's go back. Let's go to, I want to go to the etymology online real quick. Let's get this word. Discernment, all for edification. This is for edification. Let's get this word discernment or discern. Right, to discern means to what? To perceive or recognize the difference or distinction between two or more things. We know this, okay? But again, when it comes to the Bible, if you lack that ability of spiritual discernment, you are going to be left believing contrary doctrine, wayward doctrine, false doctrine, okay? And this is exactly what we're witnessing with these men over at the Genesis, and many men like them. But so what I want to do, I want to go straight to the let me see here. I want to go to the brother's video because I want to play, hey, courts in session. I want to play old boy Deacon Haka. I call him Demon Haka. Okay, his breakdown, all right, on Genesis 6 in reference to Numbers 13 and 33, where you get this word giants mentioned again. Okay, Nepayala or Nepayalayim, right, in the Hebrew. We're gonna see, okay, if what he's saying is making sense versus the true understanding of what this is going into, man. All right. Now, a lot of individuals are going to be led astray with this man's breakdown because he's a smooth talker. He uses $1 million words. He got the spirit of a Edomite scholar on him. You know, so a lot of Jake are gonna buy his rhetoric. But those that are tapped into the spirit and the Lord that truly and who truly belong to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're not gonna buy it. Okay? They're not gonna buy it. Let me go here real quick. Let me get the brother's video. Hold on, bear with me. As a matter of fact, let me get this precept real quick before we start. Let's get the precept first. All right, through the spirit. This just hit me right here. Let's get Titus. Let's get Titus real quick. Right? The book of Titus. Let me see here. I'm going to start up. I'm going to jump down though. The book of Titus chapter 1 and verse 10, and it reads, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision," man. Right. Men that know that they're Israelites and they've weaponized the truth that they've become exposed to. Right. And now they're able to twist it, flip it, and bounce it. Right. And create a doctrine that's enticing to those that are unlearned, man. You know? But look at this. Check this out. But they will be stopped. But check this out. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert. Right? So that word subvert means to overthrow. Who subvert whole houses, man. You see that? Teaching things which they ought not. Why? For filthy lucre's sake. And we believe, and we speak as men, we believe that Genesis sold out. Okay? Because as fast as they brought out the heathen can be saved rhetoric, they were the spirit attacked them. You see? They were exposed immediately through the spirit. Okay? And again, if you ask me, I speak as a man, I believe that they sold out. I believe that they sold out. I believe they got the knock on the door or the phone call or the email, you know, and they chose to meet up and sign across the dotted line, man. I believe that. And this is just my opinion. You know, it's just my opinion. I speak as a man. I believe that they sold out. The proof is in their doings. You know, you don't switch your doctrine not drastically overnight. No way. Over a precept. Okay, I can clearly be broken down and highlighted as what it truly means of pursuing the Isaiah 14, even though we're not talking about that. We're talking about Genesis 6, going into this rhetoric regarding those giants being Canaanites, man, which they're going up. That's not correct. And we're going to show you. I'm going to jump down real quick. I'm going to read verse 13. Now, this witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, right? That they may be sound in the faith, bro. Okay? Not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth, bro. All right? And this rhetoric that they're teaching is a fable. Okay? It's a fable. It's another false doctrine. You see? It's another false doctrine, bro. It's in the same category. But anyways, let's go here real quick. Let's listen, and we're going to tap into it. Let me see here. Let me just pause this real quick. Turn this up.
That this word is only used twice in the Bible. In Genesis 6. Well, it just so happens, everybody, that this word is only used twice in the Bible, but prior to the flood and after the flood, pre-diluvian and post-diluvian. You see them here in Numbers 13 and 33. It says, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. These giants were so big we felt like we were grasshoppers. This is the word Nephilim, as we proved earlier. So what are the Nephilim doing here in Numbers chapter 13 and 33, fighting against the children of Israel? This would probably be some 1,000 years or more after the flood. What are they doing here? I thought that only 8 people survived. The Nephilim would have drowned in the flood. Were they hiding on the ark like some people purport? Were they riding the ark like a skateboard to escape the flood? No. They're back on the scene post-diluvian through reincarnation, some would say regeneration, which is not a Karmaic or East Indian concept. It's actually a Hebraic biblical concept, which we'll prove soon. So the Nephilim from Genesis 6 who died in the flood, they never hid on the boats. They never surreptitiously and clandestinely snuck onto the ark like some people posit. But they died off because the Bible says only 8 people survived. They died off in that flood and they came back through reincarnation, regeneration, just like we see with the people of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, were the prototype Canaanites coming back as the Canaanites. Same reset. So after the flood, there was a reset.
Going off.
Adam and Eve having an issue with
going completely off. And you hear him with his $1 million words, you know, which you get a lot of Jake snared up in. He's going completely off, bro. Okay? Because again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Numbers 13, and then we're gonna go to Genesis 6. All right, let's go to Numbers 13 and make this make sense. All right, bear with me. Again, spiritual discernment. Right? Do you have it? As you can see, they're locking it, and you're gonna see why. Let's see here. Bear with me. Let's go to the book of Numbers. And of course, we're gonna have to get it in the blue letter. And notice how when he opened it up, all he did was pull Nepayala, right? On the Nephilim, or the Nepayalayim in the Hebrew. All he did was he stopped there. Now watch this. And you got to dig deeper, my boy. All right, the book of Numbers, chapter 13 and verse 33, and it reads, and there we start. Now, mind you, this report right here, okay, was a wicked one. Okay, Jake was scared. This was the report that came out of the other witnesses that were scared, right? But Joshua and Caleb had a different spirit in them, right? This came out of the other 10, okay, that were nook, that was scared. You see? So, but mind you, we're going to make this make sense, because check this out. Watch. Let me show you something real quick. Numbers 13 and 33. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. Now, real quick, before I break this down and make this make sense, let's go back to the word there. Let's pull this word real quick. Let's get this word, Nephilim, or the Nephilim, right? Now, real quick, it goes into what? Giants, right? Nephilim, right? Listen, when you jump down, when you open up the Hebrews Chaldee Lexicon, all right, it says this. It says what? Render, great, large, right, and body. Okay? Now, real quick, what we have to understand is that the Hamites, they're big. All right? The scriptures highlight that. All right? And this is why Jake was exaggerating when he seen them. This was talking to the Hamites as in their stature. All right? Because, again, the scriptures even highlight their stature. Let me get something real quick. When you go to the book of Isaiah, real quick. All right? The book of Isaiah, chapter 45. And mind you, let's read this real quick. I'm going to just let it break itself down and we'll talk. Right? Isaiah 45 and verse 14, it says this. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabians, men of stature. These are all Hamites. All right, let me read it again from the top. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt, right? And merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine, right? Property, right? They shall come after thee, in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no power. And this breaks up their heathen gonna be saved doctrine. This is a 2-in-1 right here. But needless to say, well, what highlighting right here is that the Hamites are big in stature. Okay, we know this, right? This is what Numbers 13 and 33 is talking to via that wicked report that came out of those scared spies, bro. Okay, now when you go into Genesis 6, again, spiritual discernment. All right, I'm probably gonna say that often throughout the course of this lesson before we close it out. It's just through the spirit. When I was hearing the brother's lesson, I'm like, and I'm hearing that video, I'm just like, oh my goodness. My boys are going laugh. Like they're losing it. All right, and the scriptures say that would happen. You get worse and worse. You know what I mean? We're witnessing the plague of the heart is what we're witnessing with those guys. Genesis 6 and 4. And let's make this make sense. Check this out. In comparison to Numbers 13, there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men around. The precept in itself is telling you who giants are. But wait, hold on. When you get this word giants, all right, when you get in the blue letter, once again, it's going to be the same definition, it's the same word. Okay, but what I didn't do, right, I didn't continue reading in the Chaldee Lexicon, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, now check this out. It says this. Now I'm going to start where I left off. It says this, all right, render great, large, right, and body. But look at this. But this is incorrect, it says. For it means excellent, noble, skillful. You see? This is what it's talking to out in the giants in Genesis, the 6th chapter and the 4th verse. It's talking about men of renown, men of Israelite men. Okay? And what's so heavy to back that up, when you look this up in a different translation, right, when you get this in, let me see something real quick. So it's even telling us in the Chaldee Lexicon that that's incorrect, that it means skillful or men of renown. Okay? We have to understand in the Numbers 13:33 sense of the word, it means great, large in stature, big. Because again, the Hamites are big. They're big, bro. Okay? Hey, it tells us in Isaiah 45 that backs it up. They're men of stature, and we see it today, to this day, bro. To this day. But anyways, check this out real quick. When you get Genesis 6 and 4, and in the Good News Bible, right? When you get this in the GMB, check this out. Genesis 6 and 4 in the Good News Bible. In those days, and even later, all right, there were giants on the earth who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. All right, it says heavenly beings. Now, real quick, let me see something real quick, right? Because I want to get this in the NLT. Because I think it mentions angels. Hold on for a second. Which heavenly beings and angels is one of the same, but we're going to make it make sense either way. Now, check this out real quick. I believe it was NLT. Genesis, the 6th chapter. NLT. Let's see here. Wow. Man, listen to this in the NLT. And then we're going to move on. This is crazy. I ain't even looked this up. I looked it up in the Good News Bible. I thought it said angel, but it said heavenly beings. But check this out in the NLT. Okay, back in the blue letter. Genesis 6 and 4, and it reads, in those days, for some time after, giant Nephilites lived on the earth, for whenever the sons of God had intercourse with women, they gave birth to children who became the heroes and famous warriors of ancient times, bro. Okay? Here, the NLT dismantled Genesis's breakdown on the Nephilim, right? Being the Canaanites after the flood in Numbers 13. This just destroyed it. Yeah, Nephilim is mentioned twice in the Bible, but it's not talking to the same Nephilim. Okay? It tells you in the lexicon that it pretty much tells you in the Charles D lexicon that there's two different meanings for it. Go read it again. For some that are what's the word, my beloved brother? What's that word he uses? I got the word. Slow bellies. There it goes. My beloved brother out of Orlando. You know, for the slow belly. Let's go get it again. Hold on, bear with me. Let's go get it again. The Charles D lexicon is pretty much telling us that there's two meanings of the word. Okay? Let's go get it again. All right, when you get the word angels, not angels, Nephilim, giants, excuse me. Let me see here. Let's go back. Let's read it again in the Charles D lexicon. It says this. It says, some have compared which Gig and Cass render great, large in body, but this is incorrect. It says, for it means excellent, noble, skillful. Okay? And your modern giants of today will be your Michael Jordans, your Mike Tysons, so on and so forth. We can just keep naming them. I'm not going to keep going. But you Akim and Aqua, you understand, you get it. These will be your modern day giants today. You see? Oh, come on, man. Because again, when you read it in I had grabbed it in the GMB, right? So when you read it in the GMB, Genesis 6 and 4 in the GMB, it says, in those days and even later, there were giants on the earth who were descendants of human women and their heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and famous men of long ago. Those heavenly beings are the Israelite men. Okay, it's not talking about the heavenly beings as in the angels. Because pursuing the first, let's get this precept real quick. Let's make sure we make that point. Because when you go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 40, It tells you what? There are also celestial bodies, right, which are heavenly bodies, and bodies terrestrial, bro. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another, man. Okay? Again, when you get it in the NLT, it brings it all home. I just came, that's the spirit that allowed me to stumble upon that, because I didn't even look into that. I had grabbed it in the GNB. That's the spirit. It literally tells you the sons. Let's go get that again. Let's go get that one more time. Let's get that one more time. This is the book of Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4. Again, in the NLT, it reads this. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of power came in unto the daughters of men. Okay, who are the sons of God? The Israelites, man. Okay, you have the sons of men, the sons of God. I'm going to say it the right way. You have the sons of God, which are the Israelites, the sons of men, which are the heathen, and then the sons and daughters of perdition, which is Esau, the Edomite, the base man. Okay, these are your three categories of men. It's telling you the category right here. When the sons of God came into the daughters of men, right? The heathen women, because we found them beautiful and fair, and they still are. Look at, and they bear children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. You see that? But we end up falling. Why? Because we started worshiping and bowing down to their idols. Okay, we committed modern day apostasy of that time. That's what happened. We fell from grace. Okay? We were the main reason why the Lord took the earth out. You see that? Hey, these niggas over at Genesis are tripping, man. All right, and they're gonna continue to trip. And when they trip, they drop. Like the brother Elder Yashua said, they're gonna drop the ball, the football. We're gonna pick it up and score a touchdown, man. That's what we're gonna do every time through the Spirit. You know, because those guys done sold out, and they're working for the small hats. Is what they're doing. I speak as a man. Okay, I speak as a man. But one thing's for certain. Let's close out with this. The book of 2 Timothy, and this is for certain right here. And that bag is only going to take you so far. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13, it reads, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Akyam and Akwa will edify. Hey, Lord willing, you were spiritually fed through the spirit and power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Lord willing, you were informed. Hey, watch out. You know, you new listeners, watch out for wolves in sheep's clothing. Watch out for these guys. They're real smooth. They're slick talkers. Okay? Oil can Harrys, as the beloved elder apostle Ariamlab calls old boy. I'm not even gonna mention him. But yeah, they got the oil can Harry spirit. You know, they're slick, smooth, cunning. Like the scriptures liken the prophets of Israel as foxes, bro. These wicked niggas. These niggas are like foxes, man. You hear them using these $1 million words. They got the spirit of a Edomite scholar on them. You see? Hey, watch out. You new listeners, watch out. And get yourself away from these guys. You can't see that these guys are lying to you. If you're under the strong delusion that the Lord's putting on you, you're not going to be able to see it. We get it. But hey, understand, these lessons are not going out. You know, brothers ain't doing this for nothing. You know, tapping, rewind the video, going to the scriptures, going to the Chaldee lexicon, look at what I looked at. Read what I read. Go look at it. It says what it says. It takes spiritual discernment to understand what's being said in Numbers 13. The context of the scripture. What happened? What's going on? What's the spirit on these other spies? What did Joshua and Caleb say? What did the Lord say about Joshua and Caleb? What does it say about Hamites for real? Aren't the Hamites likened unto men of great stature? Like, let's make it make sense. Just because you see Nephilim, okay, or Nepa Yalayim in the Hebrew, Nepa Yalayim, doesn't mean it's the same situation. You gotta use spiritual discernment. You got to. Oh, guess what? You're gonna be left erring in the spirit. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's why I pray to the Lord. I gotta say this before I close out. Pray to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for you to be able to understand and see the light. Okay, because it's very easy to stumble. Remember, the Yahweh Shai is likened unto a jinn. Okay, you can stumble and fall. Hey, remember Job 12 and 16. I'm gonna leave it right there, bro. Job 12 and 16. The deceived and the deceiver are the Lord's, man. Pray to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for you not to be deceived. Pray to him to show you the truth of the matter. You know? And if it's something you can't understand yet, hey, just pray on it, man. You know, just pray on it, man. You see? Because again, this Bible, bro, this Bible is for the prophets, man. All right? And the real true prophets are going to take the Bible and they're going to disseminate it between the elect. You see? And only the elect are going to be able to receive it. Everybody else outside of the elect are going to be lost, confused, and they're going to stumble against the chief cornerstone, man. Hey, shalom to all you beloved Akim and Akwath on the comment board. And I'm going to tune in later. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakak Wadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Shalom.